dear, have you come in for a little chat?
No, dear. I've come in to say I'm just going out.
Going out at this time? Where to?
I'm taking William to a lecture. Is that straight?
Yes, it is. William has lectures at school. I should know. I get the fees tacked onto the bill. The political situation, the manufacture of soap, habits of birds, wonders of the deep, and wild flower collecting. Here, William turns the same ear to them all, an ear carefully trained to complete deafness.
Oh, this isn't a school lecture, dear. It's at the village hall.
Village hall?
Yes. The Village Women's Guild held a lecture last night on slum clearance and the housing problem. And the vicar's wife thought it so important that she persuaded the lecturer to stay the night and address the Children's Guild this evening.
William hasn't joined the Children's Guild.
Oh, yes, he has.
Ridiculous.
Oh, yes, dear, I know it's ridiculous. I quite agree with you. But I feel I'd rather have William join anything on earth than have the vicar's wife come here again and talk to me about it. She's a very determined woman. She was here 5 times this week already.
If it's the Children's Guild, why have you got to go?
Oh, no, I'm not going to the lecture. But William's so mutinous, I'm going to walk him right up to the door, just to make sure he goes.
Every single industrial city in the British Isles has its slum areas. Close to the factories, close to the industrial centres, they make the things we need, the things we buy to make life easier. These areas are dark and dirty areas, smoke-filled, noisy and crowded, where none of us would like to live, but people do live there. The factory workers, their wives, and of course their children. I want you to think, boys and gals. I want you to think about these children so very much less fortunate than yourselves. About too many people living together in the same house so that they haven't enough room to breathe. Every one of us should give some money to get them into bigger and better houses. It's very difficult.
What are you doing after? Want to play marbles? What? You're not listening, are you? I think she's very pretty and very nice. I think she's what? Well, shut up.
Where the houses are arranged so closely together, row upon row, each one leading onto the other, with their shared facilities in their cold backyards. How often do we give it a thought? How often do we think about problems that don't affect us personally? So think about it, boys and gals. Think about it very seriously when you slip into your clean sheets and your soft, comfortable beds tonight. And what can you do, you may ask yourselves? Well, I shall be at the vicarage tomorrow, and I want each of you to bring me 6pence there. I want you all to feel you're really helping. I'm sure that if you haven't got 6pence, you can earn it between now and then by doing some little service for some members of your families. I shall be so grateful for all the 6pences you bring.
Shh! Mother, will you give me 6pence?
Not until you've bought a new cap.
I've got a cap.
It isn't fit to be seen, and you must buy the new one yourself. I'm tired of paying for a new cap every other month. I don't know what you do with them.
I only do what everybody else does.
Nonsense.
Well, it's so silly just wearing it on your head.
There'll be no more pocket money until you've bought a new one.
I only dammed a stream with it. Nobody wears a cap on their head.
I don't care.
That means I'll be paying for it till I'm an old man. Till I'm dead, probably. I mean, what is a bit of cap? It's only a bit of stuff cut round. I'll say, you give me a bit of stuff and I'll make one. Father, will you give me 6pence if I weed the borders?
Give you 6pence? Certainly not.
Run along, William. It's past your bedtime.
Ethel, will you pay me 6pence if I do something for you?
Do what for me?
Oh, anything. I'll help you any way you like if you give me 6pence for it.
Thanks. I've been helped by you before. I'd pay you 6pence not to help me.
Right, pay me 6pence and I won't.
The offer is withdrawn.
Hello. Hello. What's your name?
Terry, and these are twins are called Bill and Dickie. Hello. Hello. What's your name?
Oh, William Brown.
You live near here?
Yes. I say, can you climb a rope?
No, but we've often tried, haven't we? Yes, we darn well have. I say, could you teach us?
Well, they're too young. But perhaps I might teach you. Come on and try. That's jolly good. You might learn to do it really well with a bit of practice.
Oh, thanks. What sort of games do you play?
Oh, lots. I play Red Indians, for one thing.
I say, may we play Indians with you sometime?
Of course, you can play now. You can come to the woods with me now if you like and have a game.
Can we come?
Yes, all of you can come.
Actually, I think we better go now. It's bedtime. Thanks most awfully for this play with you. It's been super.
That's all right. You climbed the rope jolly well.
You won't let me play with you again, won't you?
Of course. We'll have another game tomorrow. Did you know that some people live all squashed up in tiny houses and that we've got to get them out?
The one room's like that. There's only 2 bedrooms, and one's so small it's like a cupboard. Mother sleeps in that, and me and the twins in the other.
It's a slum then, and you ought to be got out.
Ought we?
I'm going to clear it.
What?
Your slum. I'm going to clear it. That's better than giving 6pence.
Oh.
Look here. You come with me and I'll find you somewhere else to live. Where you've been living isn't big enough. You've got to be got out.
But where can we go? It's bedtime. Mother said she'd come out and look for us.
Well, look, just let her put you to bed. And then when she's gone downstairs, get dressed again and come down here. I'll wait for you here. Don't tell her and don't let her see you because she wouldn't understand. Then I'll find somewhere for you to go. You've
All right.
got to be got out.
Can we come?
Yes, all of you can come. All of you have got to be got out. Now, you better go back home.
All right. Goodbye. Goodbye. I want you to be here. I bet you will. It looks as if you meant it. We didn't bother with ties or garters or anything like that. That's all right, isn't it?
Did your mother see you?
Now, I say, where are we going?
Yes, where are we going?
Well, I can't take you home because it's dangerous and because it would transfer the overcrowding from one house to another. I can't put you in here because it's not a proper place. But what the lecturer said was that people must be took from smaller houses and put in larger houses where there's room for them. Now, what's the largest house in the village? The hall's the largest house. It has 20 bedrooms.
It's empty.
Well, Violet and Elizabeth's at school, and Mr. and Mrs. Bott abroad and then in Scotland, and the servants are at home on board wages. So it's empty. And if I know Mrs. Bott, she'd like to help me in a good work like slum clearance.
But isn't there a caretaker?
Yes, but I'm not consulting her. Come on.
How will we get in?
Conservatory. I know all the ways. Come on. It's a jolly fine.
Who usually sleeps here?
Servants?
There's no bed clothes.
I think they're in the cupboard out in the corridor.
Have we come to stay with you?
Yeah. In a sort of way you have.
That's ripping. And can we all play with you tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll come to you first thing in the morning.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Look, can you put these pillows and blankets and things on the bed?
Yes.
Right, well, you do that and get into bed, and I'll go and find you something to eat.
I've no pyjamas. I've no pyjamas.
Well, keep your underclothes on. I'll go and find you something to eat.
Mine's still open.
Crumbs, the caretaker.
Well, it's a surprise, this. It's a real surprise. I wasn't expecting nothing like this, I can tell you, Mrs. Bott.
Mrs.
And
Bott?
madam, and there's no supper or nothing for you. I feel terrible. I'm just not used to surprises like this, not at my age.
Quick, find somewhere to hide.
I can endure a surprise, but at my age, they're no good for me. I mean, I just wasn't expecting you, madam. I don't feel I've had the time to do my duty.
I know you weren't expecting us, Mrs. Miggs, but the thing is, we've had a very bad crossing, and Mr. Bott's got a nasty cold in his head. So instead of going straight on up to Scotland, he thought he'd like to come home and rest for a while. How's your old mother, love? Same as usual?
Oh, she's fine, thank you, madam. I had a letter from her and she's
nice.
up in her bed.
Now, I
and the
know
doctor
you've got
says she
nothing
can
ready
go
for our
round to-
supper, but eggs and a nice cup of tea will do. Now then, Botty, you go to bed at once. The cold in his head's very heavy. Will you bring the eggs up to our room?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Thank you.
Come along, Botty.
Crumbs. Until they close that door, there's no chance of escape.
Oh, dear. I've not got the strength for it.
Strength for what?
Take my boots off.
Oh. Oh, here.
Oh.
Now then, let's have you. Oh.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Right, that's one. Now let's have the other.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, dear me.
Oh. Now, you're going to feel much better, love, when you've had a nice rest and a cup of tea.
No, I shan't. I shall never feel better again. I've come home to die, that's what I have.
Oh, don't talk so silly, love. You know you always feel like this when you've had a bad crossing, and now with a cold in your head, it just seems worse than
Yeah,
usual.
I'm dying, that's what I am.
Oh, people don't die of colds in their heads, and people don't die of bad crossings. You'll feel as different tomorrow.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
Look, when I'm dead, I want a good big headstone. I want a proper marble remembrance. Oh, poor Violet Elizabeth. Poor little orphan girl.
Oh, don't talk so ridiculous, love. You'll be saying next that you want an headstone shaped like a Bot's digestive sauce bottle.
Do you think I should have? Would it help you? Would it sell more sauce, my love?
Botty, you're going to be selling sauce for a lot more years to come.
Do you think so?
I don't think so. I know so. Oh, Botty.
I mean, what I mean is that clearing the slums is an act of mercy on Mrs. Bott's behalf. So if I step out now and say, Mrs. Bott, that's too dangerous. What am I doing in here? Have they gone to sleep upstairs? Silence. I think that when Mrs. Bott closes that door, I should escape. I mean, why boast? Why tell them it was me that cleared the slums? Why not let Mrs. Bott take the credit? Why be selfish? I always help people. I suppose that's what the lecturer really meant. Silent help, public spirit. It's jolly well safe.
Hello, ma'am. Softly boiled, just as you like them, and a pot of hot tea.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Miggs.
Is there anything else, ma'am?
No, love, you just go along to bed now.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Good night, ma'am.
Good night, Mrs. Miggs. Come along then, Botty. Sit yourself down and have something nice to eat and one of Mrs. Miggs' famous cups of tea.
Oh, crumbs. Trapped.
Now then, Botty, doesn't it feel better with a bit of food inside you?
Yes, love.
Of course it does.
Well, I really am feeling a little better.
Of course you do. I shouldn't be surprised if you're feeling well enough to go to Scotland first thing in the morning.
Well, I may be, if I go on like this.
Of course you will. Now, you go to bed directly you finish that, and you'll be feeling as perky tomorrow.
Oh, not perky. I don't think I shall ever feel perky again. But, yes, I certainly am better. Yes, I'll have another cup of tea in a moment, and that other egg, if you're sure you don't want it, my love.
Botty, do you know what they told me at the post office when I called in about the letters on the way up here?
No, love, but we might have some more bread and butter, don't you think? I'm really feeling quite hungry now. Not perky, mind you, only hungry.
Oh, I'll go down and get some more bread and butter in a minute. It's no good ringing for her. She won't hear. Where was I? Oh, yes. They told me at the post office that Lady Walton is staying at Rose Cottage. You know her. You've seen her pictures in all the Tatler and such like. Well, she's got a house in London and another place in Surrey and both of them as big as palaces. But it seems she likes nothing better than to come down into the country and take a cottage with her children without even a servant and do all the cooking herself. And she's staying in the village at the moment because her husband is away shooting in Scotland. You have heard of her, haven't you?
I can't say I have.
Oh, Botty, of course you've heard of Lady Walton. Why, she's one of the most famous society hostesses. Why, her house parties in Surrey are the social event of the year. I've seen all the pictures in the Tatler and such like. Oh, if I could only be invited to one of them. I'd die happy.
You needn't worry about dying. Do you know I've used dyed handkerchiefs today?
Oh, you know you feel better.
Well, yes, I do. But not perky.
Well, I'll go and get some more bread and butter. Good heavens. Whatever was that?
I didn't hear anything. And I'd like plenty of butter on, love. And if there's anything else in the larder, you just bring it up. I'm feeling a lot better. Not perky, but a lot better.
Botty, you must have heard that noise.
No, there was no noise. It was all your imagination.
It was not my imagination. There's somebody up there.
Well, if there is, it's painters or someone like that Mrs. Miggs has got in.
Painters do not make a noise like that.
Painters make any noise.
Well, I'm going up to see who it is. I'm going up there now, and nothing is going to stop me.
Well, you'll find it was only your imagination. And when you come down, you won't forget about the bread and butter, will you?
Oh, well, she'll just have to know about slum clearance tonight.
Botty, there's 3 children asleep in bed up there.
Oh, that's not possible. I said it was your imagination.
You don't imagine 3 children asleep in a bed.
I don't see why you shouldn't imagine that as well as everything else.
They're there, I tell you. I tell you, they're there. Who can they be?
Well, wake them up and ask them.
Oh, I couldn't do that. They're so sound asleep, it would be cruel to wake them. I'm going to see Mrs. Miggs.
Well, don't forget to bring up the bread and butter.
I know what it is. Mrs. Miggs has probably asked her sister's children to come for holiday while we were away. Telephone. Now, who can that be?
Well, don't forget the bread and butter.
Botty! Oh! Botty! Do you know who that was on the telephone? It was that Lady Walton I was telling you about, the one that's staying at Rose Cottage. It seems that her brother and his family are coming to England next month on leave from India, and she's looking for a place for them to spend the summer. And they told her down in the village that we might be going to let the all next summer. And so she's rung up to see if she can come up here and look the place over now. Oh, Botty, isn't it thrilling?
My stomach's beginning to feel quite empty again.
Oh, Botty, I'm so excited. Oh, what do I look like? Is me hair all right?
You didn't remember the bread and butter, did you?
Mrs. Bott, just what my brother wants.
Oh.
I'll write to him at once.
Oh, I'm so pleased. This, of course, is the master bedroom. But I can't show you in there just at the moment because my husband's not too well.
Oh, I'm sorry. And where does this lead?
Oh, that just leads up to the servants' quarters. You wouldn't want to be bothered looking up there.
Oh, I think I would. I know my sister-in-law would want particulars of the whole house.
Oh, I don't think you really want to see it. Really, you wouldn't, Lady Walton. It's the stairs. You see, they're so dangerous.
Well, they look perfectly safe to me. I suppose the servants use them.
Oh, yes, that's what I mean, you see. They're very tiring, dreadfully tiring. Really they are, Lady Walton. I forgot to show you this lovely little dressing room just over here. I'm sure you've got it.
I think I will see upstairs. Thank you, Mrs. Bott.
Oh. These are my caretaker's sister's children. They're staying here for a little holiday.
He's very like one of my own little boys.
Oh, is he?
If I hadn't put him to bed an hour ago with my own hands, I wouldn't believe. Another of your caretaker's sister's children?
Yes.
Twins, I suppose?
Yes.
Terry? That scratch on his face, it is Terry.
Hello, Mummy.
Mrs. Bott, or whatever your real name is. Why did you tell me these children were your caretaker's sisters?
You're perfectly aware they're my children. I'm not going to appeal to your compassion or your honour, because a woman like you, or rather, a thing in the shape of a woman, who can stoop to the dastardly crime of kidnapping, can't know the meaning of either. My husband is a cabinet minister, and my father a world-famous millionaire. No doubt you thought I'd pay up. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie you up and lock you in this room. I'm a good deal stronger than I look, and I'm in very good condition. Then I shall dress my children and take them away from here. I shall then communicate with Scotland Yard. And I will never rest, and my husband will never rest, until we've brought you and your hill gang to justice. If you try and rouse them now, it'll be the worse for you.
But I didn't know who they were. I swear I didn't know who they were. Oh.
Another of your victims. How many children have you got imprisoned here, you heartless wretch?
Oh, he's William.
Where did she take you from?
He's William. He's a boy who brought us here.
Your child, I suppose?
No.
Why did you bring them here? Did this woman force you to?
No, she didn't exactly force me to.
Well, why did you bring them here?
Well, really, it wasn't anything to do with her. I'll tell you about it if you listen. You see, I brought them here because I was clearing the slums.
You were what?
Slum clearing. I was clearing the slums and I just happened to start with them, that's all. I mean, well, how was I to know? They said they lived all squashed up in tiny houses, and people like that have got to be got out.
Well, I didn't know who they were. I didn't know how they'd come here, and then when you arrived,
When I think of the names I called you, will you ever forgive me? Oh, dear, we must meet again to have a good laugh over this. I'm giving a small house party at my place in Surrey next month. I wonder if you'd care to join it.
Oh, I'd love to, Lady Walton. Oh, you don't know how much I'd love to.
Good. Oh. Now, you see friend William home, and I'll get these children dressed.
Come along, William, you wicked little boy.
Where are your clothes? Your shorts there?
William, I hope you're thoroughly ashamed of yourself.
Well, how was I to know?
Oh, you don't deserve this. But when I think Lady Walton's house party... Oh,
thanks.
Off you go, then, you wicked boy. Oh. Botty. Oh, Botty, wake up. Lady Walton has invited us to one of her house parties. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, Botty.